Okay, guys, this one's going to be a super quick one tonight. I haven't recorded anything at all this week. I've actually recorded Sunday's stream with a bit of an overview specifically for YouTube rather than TradingView. But this one's actually going to be put onto both. So I'll upload it first to YouTube and then stream this pre-recorded back onto TradingView given the issue. So just jumping straight into Bitcoin. The first thing was obviously not streaming at all this week much. We've put a bit more emphasis on our Discord channel and just calling some of the shorter calls, shorter moves. So if I show this one back around the 3rd, which obviously 3 days ago, um, I was calling this move here the 3rd of August. I was expecting a nice little push up. If I'm honest, I would have liked to have seen only to the white, only the 50% marker of the liquidity box. Um, but no surprise, we're actually seeing a little bit of extended hype, which is why I've got the pink as the second line. But the longs and shorts of it was the expectations was up from there. This is what we've played out today. Earlier on this morning, or actually, yeah, this morning, um, we're actually consolidating around the top of the box. I would have liked to have seen, if I'm honest, a push down. We didn't quite get that. We've seen the extended hype as expected. This was also covered by my business partner, Paul. Um, Paul streamed this one yesterday and give a little bit more logic as to why we were anticipating the price to come back up to his blue line around this level. So similar kind of outlook. It's done exactly what we were expecting this to do. We're still not overly bullish as a whole, and there's a little bit of logic as to why. What I'll do is I'll stick a link in the description and in the chat channel for Paul's stream on TradingView, and you can watch it. You skip forward to about 4 minutes where he actually starts talking anything that makes any sense. I am sorry, Paul. But yeah, I think in terms of the daily, weekly, monthly moves at the moment, I think we are we're kind of nearly there. But I'd like to see even a pullback before we get any real bullish confirmation. I think I'm still of the opinion that we had the all-time high, an A, a B, a C move. I'd like to see this move stay pretty much sideways as a whole. And therefore, I think even if we were to take a 3-5-3 zigzag type pattern in terms of Elliott, we'd be seeing a move up, a move back down. This one potentially another move up. I'd like to see another move down and another move up before I get kind of confirmation on this one. You're probably likely to get a B, C move as well. I don't know where. This is just drawn freehand, obviously. We might only come down as low as this. There's still liquidity sitting over at this candle here, so that could easily be a target. I don't think it's going to be as obvious as down, dip, and go. I think this is actually going to be, again, long-winded sideways action overall. And although we can argue this is looking quite impulsive, the volume doesn't really back it up. We've had a nice move. We're still only at the underside of the distribution schematic overall. And therefore, yeah, it could be the 0 to 1 on the way up, but I'm just not that excited about this yet. One way or the other, we're going to get confirmation, we're going to get a pullback, and that pullback is looking more and more likely sooner rather than later overall. So that's my expectations on this one. We clearly made the call. You can see on Paul's channel, I'll stick a link into this one. We covered this on the Discord server and a little bit more logic as to why. Um, and then what I'd like to do is to cover. Um, Basically, I'm looking at Australian dollar USD. I'm a longer term trader. I've stopped trading the kind of intraday stuff a long time ago. I kind of specialize in longer term stuff, and I tend to only take a couple of trades that I know I'm more likely to win. So ultimately, I've been watching the DXY for again a very long time. You'll see if you go back into the stream back in around the 25th of June. I break down the logic in this particular stream. If you go onto YouTube, again I'll stick the link into the chat channel. So you'll see the logic. If I just skip forward a little bit as to what I'm drawing here, you'll actually see in this. Um, the reason and the thinking for a move up, a move down. Now, on the smaller time frame, this chart is actually the weekly chart. I was expecting another move back up because we hadn't quite hit what I would regard as the top of the channel, which was around 92.7, 93, which I think is where we are, yeah, roughly where we are right now. So we've come and tagged the top of the channel. I think we're already in overbought territory in terms of the stochastic, and therefore I think it's again doing exactly what I'd like to see. It's currently moving in and down, so I drop down to a daily time frame. We've got a little bit of extra space to go on the stochastic, and this is exactly what I was looking for in terms of the two. So I'd like to see a rejection in and around this block. However, it wouldn't be a surprise, although not as nice in terms of what I'm aiming for. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we see a rejection from this level instead, which is around 93.10 before they move on down. So on the daily, a little bit of space, weekly already overbought, and therefore DXY doing what it does, doing what I like. And therefore, that's going to have an influence on Bitcoin. That's going to be a knock on into other altcoins. And ultimately, we're going to see different types of move with things like gold and silver, oil, obviously. So, yeah, I think overall, that's doing exactly as planned. I'm still looking for my Australian dollar trade overall. And again, let's go back a couple of days to one of the previous streams where I was drawing these blue channel lines. You'll see from my chart work, although I do a lot of art, I actually take the analysis, quite brushstroke overall. So three high for me, a drop down four. I think we're getting obviously the A, the B, the C. I think at the moment we got a nice ascending channel. I would love to see a drop out of this channel, coming into some liquidity around this green block, maybe a test and another drop down to test that one, and again rejection before I continue on up, and that suits the DXY move. It makes a lot of sense. Let me just see where we are in terms of the weekly. It makes a lot of sense where we are as well for the stochastic weekly to lag down over the daily time frame a couple of extra pips, and then shoot up to where I'm expecting, ultimately new highs up here, or at least tagging this high up there. So that's my expectation for the Australian dollar move. It's just a question of now looking for the very specific entry. So I'm going to leave this as that tonight. It's obviously Friday night. I just wanted to cover and do a little bit of a recap as to why I'm not that interested yet in both Bitcoin or any of the Forex moves that I've been monitoring for weeks and months in some instances. And I hope this gives you a bit of a feel. So have a great weekend, and we'll be back with you next one. Cheers, guys.